Yes, that's.
Did I do it? I did it. I think we're live. All right, perfect. This is going to save me a lot of time if this works. So if you're just joining me, you see this popping up live. If it didn't work, oh well, we'll do it again another day. But this is our client market update. I'm hoping to start doing this in a live sort of format so we can just get it up there. If you guys are around, you can ask questions if you like. But so far, seems like this is working pretty good. Cool. We'll keep going here then. Look here, the markets were almost all higher today. Before we get into that, I want to do a little housekeeping. You might have saw the video today that was posted. We called it Funny Money. It's just a sort of series I want to do with my brother to really keep things interesting and more, you know, talk about the lighthearted stuff, the fun things that come up. We're going to actually talk about, we're playing a fun game called the Stock Madness, where we're going to treat it like March Madness, pick our teams, stocks, and sort of pit them against each other. So today we're actually going to do another video to explain that all a little more in depth about how we're doing it, show the brackets, go through that. So if you're interested in that, it's kind of more of a podcast sort of thing where we're just hanging out talking. Anything interesting that might come up, investing, money, finance, you name it. Maybe we'll teach you something, but have a little fun doing it in the meantime. Let's go over and take a look at the markets while we're here. We're going to go like that. Boom. Look at it all working so well. So look, the S&P was higher on the day by 2, but it was a lot higher on initially. Let's take a look at this here. If we look at today's activity, and if you don't know much about charts, this is not a big deal. Basically, this back and forth, this is showing you that it was as low as down here. It was as high as all the way up here, but really it finished very close to where it started the day. And so what that's telling you is all that range-bound market that we've been talking about, saying how the markets will likely stay within a range between this sort of high and this low, work their way back and forth. All of that is just staying true. All of the traders that are out there in the short term, they all feel the same way. And so that's basically what you have going on for the foreseeable future, with the exception of bad news will be treated as bad news. Mark my words, if there is some really bad news that comes out, it won't be like we saw in the past where the markets just shake it off and keep going with no real problems. Bad news will be bad news. That could pull us lower. In the meantime, though, we're basically just treading water back and forth here on the S&P. The Dow looks somewhat similar, a little more activity over there. But basically, I didn't turn off my phone, and that's a mistake on my part. But basically, the back and forth here with the Dow to be expected. I have no real new comments. Very, very sort of wait and see mode here with the markets. We've got the NASDAQ 100 also in the same sort of category, a little stronger, has been a little stronger, but basically just treading water there. So tomorrow there's really not a lot of scheduled news to wrap up the week, so there's no sort of economic numbers like we saw today that might cause the markets to shoot one way or the other until the afternoon. So in the afternoon, we've got the, I think 3 or 4 different Fed members that are going to be giving speeches. Now that they're sort of transitioning, there's a new Fed chairman. They'll probably pay more attention to what these other Fed members have to say. But for now, look, interest rates took the day off. That helped the markets earlier in the day. But again, if you ever want if someone ever says to you, where do you think the market's going? You say, I don't know. Where are the financials and where are the tech stocks going? The markets couldn't get anything done today because here's your financials. They sold off almost 1%. That's not really that bad. And then your tech stocks, more particularly the semiconductor stocks, that's what really runs this market. The financials and the semiconductor stocks. For now, that's what's running this market. And look, they just didn't get anything done today. There was no real movement. The stock market cannot go higher without those two. And so those two didn't go higher today. So basically, that's it for the markets. Now, why were the markets up a little bit today? Well, energy. If you look at your retirement accounts, you're wondering where the good stuff was today in your retirement accounts, it's going to be energy. Anything in that space today had an amazing day, actually, really strong, and that's all because of the oil inventory reports. So the oil inventory reports came out, and inventory was a little less than expected, right? So it means there's less supply. The demand, at least if we say it stayed there, with less supply causes higher prices. That's all we had today in the short term. Just a little pop here with the price of oil. Anything that participates in that space, not that. Oil exploration stocks, oil companies that drill, that service parts, things like that, they all did well too. So pretty cool there. Your biggest gainer was Chesapeake, 21%. Good earnings and a strong day for oil. That was good timing for them. So it was a good day. REITs, your real estate investment trust, they got the day off from their recent sell-off here. Interest rates took a little bit of a break. As interest rates sort of settled down, the REIT stocks were like, oh, great, we don't have to drop anymore. Whew, that's a good thing. So a little bounce there. If you're seeing a little recovery in your retirement accounts, if you have real estate investment trusts, then not so bad. Let's do one more here, just covering stock in particular. We'll talk about Snapchat. Stock lost, what it finished down? 6% today. And all the headlines, I thought this was hilarious. All the headlines said, oh man, Kylie Jenner, I guess one of the younger of the, what are those people called? The Kardashian twins, sent out a negative tweet saying that the new Snapchat is, no good. And she said, does anybody even use it anymore? I don't use it. Well, she's got 24 million followers. So the assumption was, oh no, everybody's going to leave Snapchat. That's not the real news, right? The people that are sort of focused on Snapchat, the kids that use this all the time, they're not in there investing in the stock in masses. Who is investing are these different companies, all the bigger investors and the institutions that also took a look at the annual report. Company released their first annual report and found out the CEO, one of the original founders, has 48.4% of the company. And over the next 3 years, he's going to get another 3% in lieu of salary. So he makes $1. That's his salary. It's $1 a year. He's going to get 3% more of the company in the next 3 years. So I don't know if you know this, but Snapchat shares, if you own them, you get no voting rights. You get no say in the company. You can buy all the shares you want. You're not going to change the company. So today we found out that the CEO, which, a lot of people are kind of like not too excited about, we found out that the CEO is actually going to have majority control over the company. And you as an investor, whether you bought all the shares or one share, you got no say in it. It's kind of like Alphabet. Alphabet was big in that too. I believe Facebook even did that as well, where you just basically own the shares, good or bad. You're hoping for the good ride. Whereas any other company, when you buy into the company, you actually get one share, one vote, you get what I'm saying. So not the case with Snapchat. And that was the first time people were finding that out. So anyways, what else do we have? I'm going to wrap this up actually just to try to keep this a little shorter today. Not a lot going on. So the more I talk, I don't want you to think there's a lot of stuff going on. Pretty quiet market overall. S&P, kind of flat on the day. NASDAQ down a little, no problem there. Hewlett-Packard reporting earnings at the moment. Looks like they're up a little bit. I don't know if anybody has that or invests in that. Intuit down 5% after earnings. That's about it. That new company Redfin down 2.5% after reporting their earnings. I don't really follow them much. It's a great idea though. And First Solar down 4%. Probably had some comments based on the sort of new solar laws that Trump's working on there. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's not a delay. I hope this doesn't suck. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Of course, stay tuned for tomorrow's video, that funny money. We're going to do the stock madness. I think you'll be interested in the picks that I have, my stock picks. I don't actually have them here, but we're going to put them on the whiteboard back there, see what my brother comes up with. We'll take it from there. If you need help with your retirement investments, just want a fun place where people know what they're doing but don't take things too seriously, jazzwealth.com. We will be there. Happy to help, happy to work with you. Enjoy, guys. Those of you that posted, I see some people posting. It's actually working live. Thanks, guys. Jorge, Doc Type, and Jesse. Good to see you guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.